Yo, what is going on, everybody? Episode 115 of many. I apologize, this didn't get out right away Thursday morning. It's Thursday afternoon right now and I'm recording this, but I had planned on recording yesterday, and then I ended up not feeling too hot, and then I was like, well, I'll just wake up in the morning, we'll do it then. And then I don't know what happened, but at like 2:30 in the morning, I got like the worst cold shakes I've ever had before. Like I was literally like moving the bed on how much I was like shaking. My teeth were like literally chattering, making the noise, bouncing off each other, whatever. So, I put a bunch of, got a stocking cap and wool socks and a hoodie and sweatpants. I like bundled up, and I laid there for, hours on end, basically, like shivering and then like going in and out of sleep. And so it's been a rough morning. And then on top of that, I still have, I don't know, not that this matters to the podcast, but I still have my wisdom teeth. And so for some reason, anytime my inflammation, I get any kind of inflammation, my jaw ends up hurting even worse because of my wisdom teeth, and then it goes to my head, and then it creates this really bad headache. So, on my to-do list is to get my wisdom teeth looked at and removed. But anyways, it's been an interesting morning, interesting evening. And yeah, I would wish that on nobody. That was horrible. So I'm feeling a little better right now. I still got a headache, but I want to get an episode out to you guys and talk to you. So going off of last episode, why you should never stop learning. I thought that was a solid episode. I hope you guys share that with friends and family, people who need to hear that. But some tips and tricks to learn on your off time. Because I know a lot of people, they have the excuse, so I don't have the time. I don't know. I don't know how you do that, right? I do like to carve the time out to physically read. I don't do the Kindle. I buy real books, and I have the satisfaction of turning the page and completing it and leaving it on my shelf like a trophy. I do not borrow out books, really. I'm not to that stage in my life yet. I buy the book for myself, and I want to acquire a library. So anyways, little tips and tricks. I know not everybody, in quotations, has the time to maybe read 30 minutes a day, which I would argue that most everybody does have that time. There's a lot of time that we waste scrolling on our phone. We get home, we want to relax and watch TV. We stay up just, again, scrolling social media to help us fall asleep or whatever. But if you're going to argue with me and say that I don't have time to do all that, I guarantee you're commuting at some point, or you're listening to music throughout some point of the day. I strongly recommend finding some good podcasts or some good audio books that you want to listen to, road trips and whatever. Again, I prefer that you actually read, but I go in phases of, hey, every morning when I go to the gym and I'm driving 25 minutes to get to Berlin or whatever gym I'm going to, I go in phases. I'll be listening to the Andy Frisella podcast, and I'll be getting some stuff out of there, and then or the Russell Brunson podcast, and other mornings I might listen to music. I listen to nothing a lot of the time when I drive. I just like sit in silence. I don't know if anybody else does that, but I'm just like thinking, So anyways, I just wanted to bring up, if you guys don't have the time, I'm sure there's time that you can find, substitute some of these things. You don't need to be on your phone until you need to fall asleep or until your eyes get tired. You don't need to watch TV all the time when you get home. You can, again, before you start watching TV, let's just read 5-10 pages. Like, let's just start small and create some goals and habits and start building off of that. So you thank me later. Once you start doing that, you're going to appreciate it. You're going to enjoy it. And again, once you finish that first book, how many people I talked to, and I said, oh, I'm just, finish my book, or whatever I say about a book. Oh yeah, I read a book once when I was like, in middle school, right? Don't be that guy. Don't be that girl. I encourage you to read. Readers are leaders. And if you want the edge on everybody else, just read a little bit. Educate yourself. Like I said, never stop learning, and you will benefit greatly from it. So, my question of the day, this is going to be a shorter episode, but the question of the day, how much does it cost versus what is it worth? I'm reading this book, and I haven't finished it. I should finish it, but I've been up and down on my reading. And I forget exactly how the story went. I'll try to pull it up in the book one of these days, and I'll try to read it for you or whatever. But this guy was digging for gold, and he told his buddy, come over here, there's too much gold, I can't dig it all myself. And his answer was, I don't have a shovel. His buddy goes, well, go buy a shovel and then come and dig this gold. It's like an unlimited supply, and it's too much for me. And the guy goes, do you see how much those shovels cost these days? Right? So the opportunity cost, I mean, it's just an interesting story, right? A lot of us get caught up in this mindset of what does it cost versus what is it worth? If I buy this thing, what is the value I'm really going to receive out of it? Am I going to 10x, 5x? Am I going to leave a different person? I encourage everybody to go and do the events where you can listen to live speakers, or you can do them. You can even find some online where you can tune into somebody that's doing like a live event, or they're speaking on stage or whatever. And then also like the books, right? Any of this education stuff. You look at the book and you're like, oh, $20, like I could do a lot else with $20, but it's that one nugget you're going to get from that experience, from that book, from that event you go to, and we're going to grow from that. And again, you're going to leave a different person than you came, right? So that's the cost we need to start looking at. I have a very, I guess, the abundance mindset. I don't live in, I don't believe in necessarily being the penny pincher. Now, I'm not saying you should just spend money without thinking about it, but I'm not going to drive across town to save 3 cents 3 cents on a gallon on my fuel. Just whatever is convenient for me at the time. I need fuel. I need to get from point A to point B. I'm going to grab, whatever. If this gas station is more convenient for me to get in and out of, I do believe that I'm going to die with more than that $20 or that $50 or those pennies that we're pinching. So live in abundance. You need to have that open mindset, and that mindset that kind of that you can go and get that money back, and that you can work another day. I do believe in saving money. That's not what I'm saying either. You do have to save. You need to be smart with your money. But what does it cost versus what is it worth? Don't just look at the price tag, but what are you going to get out of it? So I just want you to think about that. I think when I was reading the book, it's by Jim Rohn. It's like 7 strategies to with like health, wealth, and happiness, or like 7 strategies like to living the good life. So Jim Rohn, if you've watched any of his videos, dude is a G. He's awesome. But this book I think is a good recommended book for everybody to read. Here, I'm on my phone, so let me just look this up real quick for you. Stay with me. There we go. 7 strategies for wealth and happiness. And then it says, Power Ideas from America's Foremost Business Philosopher, Jim Rohn. So, if you haven't heard of Jim Rohn, I think he's, again, amazing. I think you should look into Jim Rohn, and I think this book is good for everybody. So, do what you want with that. Most people are going to listen to it, and they're not going to do anything about it. So, go get the book. Go be different, and go be the best version of you. The other thought that I had, I don't know if I have friends like this. I have people who I interact with. I know people like this. There's always, and if you're on Facebook, if you have anybody, if you have friends from high school or whatever, there's always that person that always has the problem. They always have an issue. They always have something going wrong, and it's not perfect. I do believe in tough times, and there's things that happen, but I do believe that this person, this individual, they're not necessarily waking up looking for the positives. A lot of it is the drama and the negatives. And I've been around people where no matter how easy of a day it could be or whatever, it's just like there's an issue. Like something happens, right? And I don't know if it's ironic, but it's like this person just attracts negativity. So I'm sure you have people around like that. I'm sure you have seen them on Facebook, because I have seen several people on Facebook like that. And when I see that stuff, I kind of laugh, but I also just, after a while, I don't really scroll Facebook a whole lot, and I'm not really looking through all of that, but I do tend to just unadd people that something's always a problem. There's always an issue, a health problem, a family problem, a car problem, whatever, right? So I don't really have like a lesson here, but it's really just a mindset. I believe. I just think, again, if you wake up with a positive attitude and you're willing to learn and willing to grow, and again, it could always be worse. I think these people that have these issues, everything's the worst. Everything's a horrible situation. Nothing could be, better about this. So, just throwing that out there for you. I have had people who work for us in our businesses before that, again, this is the same situation that happens, and some of these people I'm very close with, right? It just is it's a mindset thing. It's just like something could go wrong, something is going wrong or whatever. So I know I mentioned to you, never stop learning. I think I mentioned to you guys as well that I'm doing boxing lessons. I'm paying for, lessons from somebody who knows more than I about boxing. And it's, I'm not going to say it's like a stress reliever or anything like that. It's really just, I want to learn new skills and I want to continue challenging myself. I think I was actually just thinking about, right after high school, you're still like in that age range of athletic and able and flexible and whatever. And everybody grew up differently. You might have peaked 5 years after high school. You might have peaked earlier than, senior year or whatever. But that 19, 20, 21, when we're young and we can do whatever we want. I just don't want to, I know that we don't run anymore, right? You used to have gym class. We used to do running or whatever. Most people, they don't run after age 18, they just stop. And I don't want to ever stop. I don't ever want to let the old age set in. I want to continue to be striving for greatness. I want to continue to have something to work towards. If we don't have that, not even end goal, but if we don't have something we are working towards, something that we want to improve on, something that we want to be better at, I just think life gets stale. And I think, again, that old starts to creep in. And I challenge you to go against that. I do believe that today's day and age with the modern medicine and the peptides and everything else that's going on, that if you do take care of yourself, that you can live much longer than the average age of whatever it is, 75 or whatever I keep saying. So if you want it, I really think you can reframe your mind to say 90, 95, 100, and that those last 10 years of your life can still be good years. I don't think you need to just wave the flag and say I've done it all I've done all I could and I'm ready to relax. I get it, but you need to have something that you enjoy, something that challenges you, something to continue teaching you. Like I said, most people I talk to, they haven't read a book since middle school. I'm not gonna lie, I didn't really read anything in high school, in middle school, right? But now I read all the time, and so anyways. That's all I want to leave you with. Don't let the old creep in. I want you to put yourself in an uncomfortable situation. I want you to continue learning. And don't be afraid. Again, my cost versus what it's worth, the boxing lessons, right? I take my brother and my sister and we go, and there is a cost associated with that. But what is it worth? What am I getting out of it? Am I motivated in other ways? Am I getting a workout out of it? Am I learning a new skill? Am I becoming coordinated in a different way? Right? Am I able to protect myself more? There's these things that come from the opportunity. There's the cost, and then there's the value that I'm getting out of it. So to me, the value I'm getting out of it is much greater than the cost I am paying. Now, I'm not saying, again, if there was a situation and I had to cut expenses, is that something I might cut? Maybe. But I am able to do this right now, and I am young enough and I am in shape enough, right? I don't want to not be able to do this. So anyways, I'm just sitting here on the couch. I'll stop mumbling for you. I hope you take something away from this episode. If you guys want to add me on Snapchat, Colton.Burt. Instagram is now Colton Cravenburt, first, middle, last name. On there, I am trying to create content on Instagram a little bit more now, and I'm really just posting reels. I'm really just trying to talk to other small town gym owners. That is my goal with my Instagram brand, so to say. So anyways, I appreciate you guys so much. Thank you, and wish you the best Thursday and the rest of your week. Have a good weekend.